Opening up a store.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're in mid training right now, like staff training stuff.
Okay. What
Hi,
time is it there?
Wednesday. I'm Liz.
Hi, Lynn. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too.
Where do you live, Lynn?
Edison.
Oh, okay.
Edison.
I represent South Jersey.
We have nobody in Central Jersey that I know of.
Yeah, Liz is North Jersey.
I'm not north. I'm central. There's a difference. No, there really is because there is north people, but they're kind of stuck upish. They're not very inclusive. So
Okay, we are all here. All right, we have a quorum. This is our first board meeting in a while. This is great. Glad to have everybody here. Hopefully, a few more board members will trickle in. Let's welcome Liz to the board. We haven't had a meeting yet since Liz has joined us. So, welcome, Liz. Thank you for joining our group.
thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to learn more about it and what I could do.
While I got you here, what is your history and how can you help the cannabis patients and the disabled community here in New Jersey? What are your ideas?
First off, I'm a senior advocate. I also have a disability. I'm a retired nurse um, and a senior cannabis patient, advocate, and educator. And education is the big thing. For you guys, where I think my strong suit is to reach out to companies for donations for something like Thanksgiving that you just did. The bigger companies where you can get those Dollar Tree size detergents and things like that. And of course, advocate. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, but just so you know.
Hello, Paco. Good afternoon. I hope you're feeling good.
Hi, Paco.
Hello, Paco. I'm
Been
Liz.
a minute.
So I have on the minutes here an agenda. Before we get to the agenda, oh well, yeah, I'll give my treasurer's report. We'd like to do a president's report and a vice president's report if we could. The treasurer's report is a account of $81.73. Thank you, Sharon, for the donation of $500 to pay for our website. We were 2 days
Thanks,
away from
Sharon.
losing our website. So thank you, Sharon, for saving us there. Uh, yes, Paco's about to take a fat glob of rosin to feel better with this rain, and I am agreeing
Oh,
with you. I'm going to go out and join you in a minute.
this rain is killer.
There's a few things I'd like to do, but do we have a Jim Miller? Do you have a report for us as president? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, as president of Steve Cross, I wasn't aware that the president would have to make any kind of statement, but I wasn't real worried about it. I'm glad we're having an official meeting because we need to do that. And I guess I would say we probably got to look for spend some of the new year uh, becoming a little bit more adept at some fundraising of any sort at all. But we all know that, so I'm just reporting things we already know, and I don't mean to offend anybody.
I'm new, so you gotta get me up to
Well,
speed.
yeah, well, I think you probably know us well enough to know by now. It was like we don't have a lot of funds available to spend money,
Right.
and then when we need to, somehow we sort of find a way and muddle through it. But I think we're doing pretty good about being involved and aware of what's going on, which is like the very first part of getting anything done is having some idea where you are. So I give us a good mark for self-awareness. And I think we're going to have a good year. As president, I will say, I expect we are going to have more forward motion in the next 2 or 3 months than we've had total. I think it's going to be a noticeable acceleration. So thanks to everybody for hanging in there and showing up when you can. That's it.
Is this a good time for everybody at 4:00 on Tuesday? Does this work?
Yeah, works for me.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't have a set schedule at work, so.
How many meetings are you figuring on having, say, and yearly, as an example?
12.
Okay.
We're
Board
only obligated. We're obligated to have 4. Legally, we have to have 4.
Right. Yeah. 1 per quarter.
Quarterly, yeah.
Or not, doesn't actually have to be. It could be 4 in a row.
Really?
No, I don't know.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They may frown upon that. So one thing I'd like to bring up is a resolution to update the bylaws. Talking about fundraising. I belong to the Lions Club, and the Lions Club is very good at fundraising. And they actually have yearly dues for the board members. The dues I pay for Lions Club is $125 a year. So I pay $125 a year to volunteer. So I think that Sativa Cross members can afford $25 a year. It would give us money for like our internet and our stuff like that, because our internet is a yearly cost. We can't get around that, and the website.
Right.
And that's $400 a year. So at least if we can defer some of that cost with our own board members, $25 from each member, it would be dues. And if you're in good standing, you're in good standing. If not, you're not in good standing, and that's going to be another issue where we have to. If you don't pay your dues, what happens to that person that doesn't pay their dues? Are they still going to be a member? There's things we have to.
I have an idea.
Okay.
If there's a member that really can't pay and they're active, being a member, showing up. I mean, moderately, not like every time, all the time. That the same thing happens at the coalition, and I guess I don't know how that works, because I haven't donated any money to the coalition, and I'm a member in good standing, and they watch out after that thing. So I gotta wonder. I've never asked. I don't go asking, hey, listen, can I give some money I don't really have? This is different though. It's like they have the money to just take care of it anyway, and say, yeah, there's 25 from Jim. I don't sign anything. I don't sign anything that says I gave it. So I would just say I would. It would be almost endearing to raise money and say, listen, I don't know how to say this, but we are an organization where individually a lot of us do not have money. I mean, don't. And it is going to be a strain. So if somebody would like to fundraise, take the strain off the members that can't, we're doing a fundraiser and we need $75 more or whatever. I mean, I was going to mention that actually just when I was done, I realized, wait, there is something else, and that was it, about making sure that we don't, that we have all the I's dotted and T's crossed, I almost dotted the T's there, by the way.
Yeah.
Across the eye.
Yeah, I came close,
It happens.
Oh, yeah. It happens. So, yeah, but I that's, it's something that has to be done.
Well, let's vote on it.
Yeah.
It's something we have to actually write up. Like what
Oh,
happens?
okay.
So what happens to the members that don't pay?
We
Are we
stone
gonna?
them. Yeah, stone them. Say we'll stone
Okay.
We
Well-
give them like 90 days, you know, to come up with it. Like, I think it should be due on the first of the year because we're kind of approaching that, right? So
Right.
I have no problem.
them. Yeah,
I have no problem covering Jim's 25,
No,
honestly.
I can. Wait a minute. Am I muted? No, I can cover my own. I mean, I'm just saying
Oh,
that.
it was a hypothetical?
Yeah, I don't want to assume anybody else can. But again, it's not like I'd have it right in my pocket. But certainly, I can easily make arrangements and
So, well, what, like you said, Jim, a fundraising, but like, you know, let's just say, like, hypothetically, I couldn't come up with the cash, but I could come up with all that food.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, can we
Well,
take
that's-
that kind of
Right.
fundraising in consideration? I
I
personally
agree.
don't
I
care how
also
you write it up, but
Right. I also don't want to discourage people from, spreading the good word of Sativa Cross as well, Maybe could be like, there's levels, maybe, I don't know. That's something we do have to figure out because that can discourage some people that are disabled but do want to spread the word and do want to volunteer their time.
well, maybe we could have patrons,
Or sponsors.
like $5 a month patrons, like they do for Hetty, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, they
Like
do that for just about everybody except TMMJ doesn't do that. But there's always that offer, that button.
That's just an idea.
So what I'll do
I like
is
the Patreon idea Wednesday.
I
Yeah.
do too. As a matter of fact, we're opening up a dispensary and we are going to become patrons of Hetty. And because I'm the community engagement director, we probably can become patrons, at the $5 a month level. All those $5 add up.
Yeah, and it
Mhm.
looks good too. It makes for appearances for an organization to be doing that. Looks like they're making an effort.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, more credible. I mean, just subconsciously, I'm not somebody going, oh look, they're looking for Patreons. Is it patrons or Patreon? Right.
And
Yeah.
and also, like, I know a lot of general managers, I can actually put a shout out in my group for like the general managers for Nick Scarpella from Green Lightning. It would look good for them to do a $5 to $20 a month donation to Sativa Cross. It would look great,
Yeah.
So I will definitely be hitting those people up. That's what I can do to help at this.
Yeah, I
juncture.
think $15 to $20 is reasonable too for companies or anybody really. Even
Well,
if it's a
for $5
Patreon,
for
$5
an
I think is
individual,
perfect.
right? Like me myself, I do
Yeah.
$5. But like if I was, I would hit it if I was doing an organization. I would like to see them do like 20. Yeah, 15 or 20.
I agree.
And what I would do is if
19.
they would do that, I would give them a free membership, a business membership to the Liz Lights Up School community.
I don't know about stuff like that. I feel like Forrest Gump when it comes to stuff like that. It sounds good to me, but
So as a patron, right, for Sativa Cross, maybe we can, write up like, so we're all in here at a board meeting, but we can invite them in. Like, I think we were doing public invites, right? At a certain juncture at the meeting, like a public can come in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we used
So
to,
maybe they
yes.
get exclusives, like if we could do a few bullet points, they get a free pre-roll when they show up at the podcast or something. Or
Right,
maybe
have it some exclusivity to it.
right. Like, and then for any of the organizations like Green Lightning Dispensary or Quality Canna Bliss, like, maybe if people come in and they come into the store and they get a discount for being Sativa, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
offer
I was just
a
about to
discount.
say that. Maybe we can get like a promo code Sativa Cross or something.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I know that my boss is
work
going to
with
be, she's
one of
going
those
to jump
companies.
for something like that because anything that gets people through the front door.
exactly. And that's
Yeah.
we have the same thing with the Liz Lights Up. I have dispensaries that are working on that I'm working with that are going to be doing specific Liz Lights Up senior type discounts for members of the Liz Lights Up. So they
Well,
could do.
I'll send you a message, Liz, so that you and I can discuss how Quality Kind of Bliss as me as community engagement. Maybe we can help with that.
Okay, absolutely. I'm down for it.
She's working. Another thing I would say is, and it's not like to be codified or anything like that, would be I've had 3 Facebook birthday fundraisers for CM for Sativa Cross, and it's like real easy. If I would say just if board members were aware of that and weren't already doing it for something else, their birthday fundraiser for Save Animals or whatever,
Right.
that that wouldn't necessarily have to be used as a donation. I mean, it doesn't. The board of directors of require donation. Just something else to do, and I think we don't do it if we don't think about it. So this is just a good moment for me to add that. It doesn't get a lot, but people become aware of a friend of theirs if it, that is having that for their birthday fundraiser and might not even be aware of Sativa Cross in the first place. So, people seeing birthday fundraisers, I don't know.
So getting back to the fundraising for members for the dues, that would require changing the bylaws. So what I'd like to do is update the bylaws and then show you the update that I've done, and then we can vote on that either online or I guess online, how we always vote. So I'll work on that this week and I'll show you the bylaws. I do think we have to have dues in addition to all we're talking about. I agree with all that, but I think dues has to be something we implement for everybody. If someone can't pay, we'll all have to just chip in. That's all. But it should be something that we do as a group, because we can't expect other people to give us money if we don't give ourselves money. So
I agree.
And would this be board members or all members?
We're gonna board members for sure, but we're gonna ask everybody who wants to take part. And yeah, we should have a fundraiser. I love that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Pot smokers are creative. I'm sure we'll come up with something creative.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, beyond just straightforward asking.
I forgot to do the other reports. Vice President report, since the Vice President's here. Chris Almada, do you have any reporting to do?
I have some reports. I have a couple reports. I'd like maybe two. As you guys know, I've won the election.
Congratulations!
And thank you guys.
So happy for you. You deserve it.
Thank you. And so I'm conflicted, and I would ultimately have to step down from being vice president. As I'm filling in a big role, I don't want to hold you guys back as a group, especially now that we are reorganized and stuff. I have to shift my attention towards my community. And I hope you guys understand. I strongly believe that I could have not done this without you guys either. Sativa Cross is where I first took my first steps into this. Getting involved. Never knew it was gonna get to this point, but we are here. So I also want to give you guys enough notice to figure those things out. I definitely still want to be a part. I definitely still will attend when I can. I just want to give you guys, proper structure. We are restructuring, and I think, me, having limited availability is not going to be best for Sativa Cross. So I do want to give you guys that heads up. But I am, it's conflicting, because this is where I started, so it's hard. But I do want to, I'm always going to be supporting you guys, and, and yeah, that's one of my reports. I also want to say that, like, I think, Lefty, you have a great idea with, being able to do memberships and stuff like that. And also, I agree with Wednesday, maybe doing a Patreon. Maybe we can, make some content for the Patreon, or, to make it exclusive. I think that's a great idea and a great step towards it. But that's pretty much it for my report. I think we should start working with these dispensaries, start making the pivot into the legal market, meaning, a lot of these dispensaries are now legal. We did a lot of gray area things in the past. But I think now is a good time to pivot. I think we have a great group, in addition to the group with Liz. I think we can make that pivot and be able to help those patients. I think another thing, hopefully we can do, I say we, but I'm going to be leaving, but, get back to the RSO, see how we can get and give patients the RSO that they need, or the Pico oil that they need, to make all this happen. And, keep on, spreading the word and helping the patients. And that's what we're all here for at the end of the day. This is one of the main missions of Sativa Cross.
I think working with the dispensaries is a wonderful idea, and something, not all dispensaries are handicap accessible. And one of my projects was to make dispensaries senior certified, and part of that had to be they have to either be handicap accessible, or they have to provide curbside and or delivery. But there are some stores that they cannot become ADA compliant. However, there are options, like portable ramps and things like that, that can definitely, serve a new demographic. And I think a lot of focus needs to be paid to the disabled.
So I agree, Liz, with everything you said. However, like, it would be a conflict of interest for me to be stepping outside my dispensary to do
Right.
that. So we kind of have to have one person that doesn't work for the dispensaries to maybe visit them, like, regionally, and say, hey, I'm here from Sativa Cross. We'd love to get you guys, like, as a patron. We're always looking for donations, but we'd love to help you with any of your community engagement projects. The burn up cleanup, I'm definitely going to implement that in the dispensary where I work, because we're on the Black Horse Pike here in South Jersey, and there's a lot of shit to clean up. So,
People are nasty.
yeah, everybody just tosses the shit out there. I will say this: since New Jersey has they banned the plastic bags, it's a lot better. I mean, if you go to states that have them now, you'll see them all over, caught in the trees and everything. Here in New Jersey, that's kind of not happening anymore. So I'm really happy to see that.
All right, that's
I
good.
don't mind taking my bags in. I know, other people might, but I don't mind taking my bags out of my car into the store.
Yeah. Well, I don't go grocery shopping. I have ShopRite do it, and then I just pick it up because I can't do grocery stores anymore. But yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm the person that's going to be going to every different dispensary because I am pushing senior advocacy, senior education, and the Liz Lights Up school community. And as a partner and a member of Sativa Cross, it's only natural that I discuss this as well, because I'm not tied to one dispensary.
Right. No, and that you're perfect for that. So you want to cover the central ones, and maybe we can find somebody down south here that will join up and do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it. It's you got to bring the awareness, and you got to talk about it. Talk about Sativa Cross, what our mission is, what we're trying to do, what we're focused on. And how can you help? It's a community thing. And if you participate, these are the perks. You get whatever, membership free, and that would be perfect.
Maybe you could talk some dispensaries into stacking a 5% discount if these people have a Liz Lights Up card or something. So that's something you could do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe something we can think about is maybe opening up a position, kind of like Wednesday. You have that community, relations type of deal. Maybe we can have a Sativa Cross, but that deals with dispensary relationships, and maybe they can dedicate, part of the job, I guess, as a Sativa Cross member, is to build these relationships with these dispensaries.
And not only that, maybe we can talk to a couple of cultivators, a couple of brands. Green Lightning's a brand, not just a dispensary.
Correct.
Hamilton Farms. There's plenty of them out there.
So I get personal contact with those people because, they come in and do pop-ups in the store. So I definitely can talk to them when they're, about to leave. I can at that point address it with them.
Or if you want, if you want to bait them over, not bait them, but, send them over and say, listen, reach out to her about the senior cannabis community, senior cannabis and disabled community. And then this way, nobody can say anything to you. You can't have any
conflict of interest stuff, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm a senior advocate. And I can promise you more than 50% of your store, more than 50% of your customer base is going to be over 50 years old.
We know it.
And they're the biggest and fastest growing demographic in the industry, but yet the most overlooked, and that has to change. And if you do it that way, it would be beautiful, because that's exactly what it is. We're here and we're not going anywhere. So, we're the OGs, fuck around and find out. Hold my joint.
And beyond that, if we're going to look for patrons, to have a, like you're saying, something that includes them, a little special beyond your normal viewer or whatever, or of course you get a shout out at the end of every podcast, a patron. Maybe I'll pay
maybe a free T-shirt that you're trying to save the planet.
Yeah. What if we're different than other groups.
Yes, we are.
We are, but that's a reason to support us, because we're not quite like all the other groups, and we do have credentials. Pretty much anything Lefty's ever done while Sativa Cross is in existence, Sativa Cross kind of gets a de facto credit. So to that effect, Lefty, you've won some awards, but you could be in effect sharing those awards with Sativa Cross, where you Lefty, the concerned individual, or what I mean. We don't file stuff to say, here's what we've done. Therefore, it's if anything good happens, it's due to us. I mean, that doesn't happen. But to just point out, like having the Thanksgiving pop-up thing every 9 years and going, it's things that are organizationally something to be proud of. And if it's a member of somebody who's on the board, there's a perceived shared credit by the group that the person's a board member of. I mean, it's just, we are different. I mean, everybody thinks they are. Right? All groups are going to say we're different, but well, I'm also a co-founder of CMMMJ, and I can certainly attest to the fact that we are different. we are.
Mm-hmm.
And but we also
it does carry weight, Jim. It does.
Yeah, but we work well with them. I mean, I don't have to at Sativa Cross. What I like is I don't have to have a freaking board meeting to say, can I call it a CMMMJ Sativa Cross Thanksgiving project? Because CMMJ has given $200. I don't know if it's every year, but it's been consistent. Mm-hmm. So it seems like other people in other groups could also help support us, those who can barely support our own yearly donation, So I'd be sending out my personal invitation to be a Patreon to every board member, CMMMJ. I mean, be Patreon. Mm-hmm. They can do that. We need money. That's a slogan.
Absolutely.
I do think that if you become a patron, like if you become a patron for $20 a month at Eddie, you get Dan's book and a T-shirt. So maybe we can do something. I don't know, a keychain or something, a chillum or a pipe or something weed related.
Yeah,
they get as a little gifty for their donation and becoming a member, like kind of like when you join PBS, you get a video of your favorite TV show,
Exactly.
Yeah, shirts seem to be the
T-shirt was what I had in mind, actually.
Yeah.
Well, anything you look at.
But so for $5, maybe you get
a key ring.
A key ring or something, and then for $25 you get the T-shirt, and then we maybe could even get Dan's books, the 101 of cannabis or whatever it was.
Look at us, we're having ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We're becoming more like them.
There's a lot of opportunity out there. This is a well-known here to stay groups fighting for the disabled, and we're not going anywhere. And now we need to organize and show exactly what we can do and how we can make a difference.
We are, largely a group of patients ourselves,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's something to be mentioned, even though that could be the same for a lot of groups. But I think if you took a percentage account of that for other groups, we'd be in the upper percentage of registered patients, or
right.
I mean, so it's we know what it's like we're patient oriented, we're totally volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
We need people to support us on a regular basis as much as anybody, and then it's the way that we show up too, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, this is kind of new to me. And I've always sucked as a fundraiser. That's not true. They've never really tried hard. That'd be more like it.
Yeah, well, you know, we're stoners and we're really good at thinking outside the box.
And Lefty's won awards.
You know, so, you know.
Joint resolutions from people that hate him.
I got, you know, so we're legit.
That's hard to do.
You know,
I floss that all the time. I floss that all the time too.
Which part? Which the part that you get the stuff like a joint resolution and commendation?
They hate me.
Yeah, but that it's part of an organization where a person that doesn't like the way you do show up and take it head on, that he signs it as well. You know, that's quite an accomplishment.
I got a couple of people left on that list I have to call out.
And we've produced a budding politician too. Chris, we're going to be taking credit for some of your success here is what we're going to do. Now, once he became a member of Sativa Cross, he realized, you know, cross-pollinating with Lefty at the burnout cleanups and all that, you know, all politics is local. And
I think this is more like our success, you know. It's just not mine, you know. Like
you see me smiling though, like I don't tongue in cheek. That looks different for a guy to do, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this is an accomplishment for the organization, you know. It's just not my own accomplishment, you know. I believe we all can. If we all run, I think we all can win. I strongly believe that, you know, Sativa Cross gave me this, you know, I took baby steps with Sativa Cross. You know, I used to go to meetings in my wheelchair and not speak. And until I realized, you know, the ignorance and the ableism, and it made me speak, you know, and you know, I just took what was taught to me by Jeff, by Lefty, by Jim, you know, Mikey, you know, everybody on the board. I took bits and pieces of what everybody has taught me, and that made me, and you know, I guess, to the politician I am now. But you know, Sativa Cross is special to me. It's very special.
Yeah, it's I think that's probably a deserved reputation.
I was going to say Chris won in spite of me. No, Chris won because of all the shit we did to get him to win. With all the pressure we put on the idiots on that council. There's some really bad people on that council that, if they keep following Dodd's lead, they're going to be out too. Those other two councilmen that are going to be voted out next year, they better stop voting with Dodd, because you know what? They're going to lose their seats too.
Yeah, someone on the inside. That's cool.
So we did open a dispensary here in Clementon finally. So that all of our showing up at the Clementon town hall meetings paid off, because we now have licenses here.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I'm super excited about that. And you know, and so I did that, but I did it with the help of Hugh and Sativa Cross. You guys came and showed up at the meetings on Zoom. We were like coming out of pandemic. And we changed the mind of Clementon. They were a hard no. They were not going to allow any cannabis licenses in this town, till somebody from town council reached out to me and said, hey, I'm a patient. I know you would be interested in this. What do you think? And so we did it. We turned it right around, and now they're open. So cheers to us.
Absolutely. Congrats.
Couldn't have done it without you guys. I said I'm bringing the army. We had 100 people for cannabis, 0 people in opposition.
That's sweet.
It was great. It was great. So thank you all for that. My little town thanks you. And they didn't hire me. They said I was too expensive. You get what you pay for.
Yeah. Oh
You do.
God, yeah.
I
Especially
wound up right where I was supposed to be. These people really appreciate me. They threw good money my way to help, run their store, and they knew what they were doing. They hired me as, AGM and community engagement, which is what I excel in. So they were no dummies.
That is so awesome. I'm so
So I'm
happy.
super excited. Our grand opening should be like in the spring, but we're doing a 6-month soft open because we want to have a party outside. We don't want to party inside.
Yeah, absolutely. See, that's awesome.
Yeah, super excited. Being on the board of Sativa Cross has opened a lot of doors for me.
Really?
I do. I highlighted on my resume, my cover letters, that I volunteer for the Coalition for Medical Marijuana, and I'm on the board of Sativa Cross. And even if they don't know who that is, it sounds pretty fucking important. So, but yeah, it's definitely opened some doors for me.
That's awesome.
So now we needed to open some wallets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think we can do it. I definitely think we can do it.
I think we should I'll do a little like piece of artwork, like looking to volunteer, looking to do something great with your time, join us. And then we'll get together, give me some of the bullet points, and I'm gonna definitely call over to Hetty and see like about getting with him and see if I can work some magic with that.
And I'll tell you, this is right up seniors' alley. They've got the time. They're also
Right,
becoming
love to
disabled.
smoke weed, love THC. That's what we'll do. Love THC, CBD. Join us.
well, when somebody becomes a Patreon, I mean, of course, a lot of it's done just typing it out, communications. But I would say, Wednesday, you would be the one to particularly talk to at Sativa Cross. I mean, do we need a point person to
We could do maybe like a
that?
newsletter.
Yeah, but I mean, but
If everybody could give me like, a little article and I could put a newsletter together, it would be great. We would have pictures from Thanksgiving to put up, just showing our projects. Even if it's quarterly, it doesn't have to be monthly. We could do a quarterly newsletter. So think about that.
We do all that.
That's just an idea.
Yeah, well, that's compatible.
I would
with
volunteer to
everything
set it
else.
up. Like I would do that. If everybody chips in on like the articles, like, getting me the articles that are, kind of written up, or maybe like a little advertisement of some sort, we could put an ad up for Hetty. We could ask for dispensaries to put an ad in and charge them.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're
Even
cooking.
if it's just like $2.50. Like people will pay small amounts.
Right.
They don't mind contributing a small amount, $5, right? $5 is the new $1. So,
And another thing,
right,
they like to,
It is.
Just like we can say we're board members of Sativa Cross, that they may want to say that, they support Sativa Cross.
exactly. So in the newsletter, we put up a couple ads and then we put your ad here.
Uh-huh.
And you can do a digital newsletter. It doesn't have to be something that we print. It could be something that goes out to people in their email.
Right.
Quarterly. On the first of the month, every, third month or whatever.
Right. Right.
And then we'll have a deadline, a month prior for you guys to contribute whatever you're contributing for us to fill the space. It could be 2 pages. It doesn't have to be 4 pages. It could be 2, 8.5 by 11, a nice big headline, Sativa Cross newsletter, Sativa Cross quarterly newsletter, letting you know what we've been up to. And so it would highlight our community engagement projects, our Sativa Cross, all the things that we do, whether it's showing up at town council meetings or, anything like that. So what do you guys think of that?
I like it. I feel a direction coming on for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even if it's not weed related, Liz, if you're doing like some senior community projects or just update us on what Liz Lights Up is doing,
Right.
then that would be like something, if you're envisioning what a newsletter looks like, right? Like kind of looks right. It has a head and it has some articles and it has some pictures and it has like contact us information type thing.
Right.
And I have no problem setting that up and getting it ready for digital print every 3 months. I volunteer to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love you because that's something that is so not up my alley.
Well, I'm a graphic designer by trade. So any kind of, artwork or anything, like I can help with that.
Okay, cool.
And Chat GPT is our friend. We can use Chat GPT to write articles too.
I have Sintra AI.
Okay, whatever you're using.
Yeah, and I get a lot of good ideas, and if I ask for something very specific, they're pretty good about it.
Right, we could put fillers in there, like highlight terpenes or something like that. Like the terpene highlight and strain highlights. We could do that. And you know what? These cultivators should want us to put their strains up, right? That's where they come in and they say, all right, well, we're going to give you $20 a month, towards the newsletter or whatever. We want you to highlight our strains each month. So now we really have to have somebody that's going to contact these cultivators, and I can hit them when they come in for sure, but I'm only hitting their representatives. I'm not really getting the account people. But it's a bug in the ear.
Yeah,
it's a word in the ear.
And it's a name that you can shoot to me and touch base with the rep.
Okay, I will absolutely find out their account people information.
Yeah, because then we can talk about being a patron for Sativa Cross.
Well, sure, because like we could actually put together a fucking magazine what is it? Sensi Mag.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Sensi Mag?
No.
So if you go to a state like Colorado, it's almost a magazine, and it's all the cultivators and growers and processors and manufacturers. They can put ads in that magazine and coupons for people to come in. So we could actually and that would be a way for us to generate some real money, would be to actually put together a Sensi type mag and ask these people to advertise with us, because advertising for cannabis and dispensaries is nil. All we have is weed maps and Leafly. That's all they're allowed to do right now, and put a billboard up in Pennsylvania. That's all we're allowed to do. Can't really advertise on Facebook or Insta. It's all constantly being shut down. But we're going to be sending out, just need to get people's email addresses of who we're going to be sending this newsletter to. Who's our audience?
And the school community is where we're going to get at least, the seniors and anybody else, quite honestly. And as it stands now, the businesses, what I offer them is $65 a month. It gives them 2 free ads, 2 free product reviews, space at event tables, event calendar. I have an event calendar in school. It's amazing. And it notifies everybody via email, if you'd like, when an event is coming up. So if Sativa Cross is doing something at the State House, it can be on the event calendar for people to know and go and check it out if they want.
Well, and that's something else that could be on there. And we could make it 4 pages at that point, with the back page being an event calendar, a 3-month event calendar.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like the dates highlighted, in a color or whatever. And, like this on this date, this date, this date, this date down, down the page. So, but I have no problem setting it all up. What I have problem is creating all the content that goes in. So that's where everybody kind of has to pitch in on an article. I can, put a lot of pictures and filler in there, but
Well, I've
we
got
start to
plenty.
actually get advertisers. Now that's where, we could go from 1 to 4 to 16 to 24 pages if we get advertisers that pay to
Yeah.
advertise with us.
Yeah, I
It's
have
an idea
plenty
that
of
I'm coming up with. I'm
articles.
actually coming up with it on the fly. I never thought about it before, but
I have tons of articles that I
and,
have.
and AP has articles. Like you can actually go to AP and get articles, that have to do with cannabis or, CBD or whatever.
Yeah, no, these are things that I write.
Wonderful.
With the help of AI, like for seniors, your first visit to a dispensary, what to expect,
Great.
all that kind
Excellent.
of educational, and it's also, on my site. But I probably have a year's worth of content.
Excellent. Well, then, and so, well, we're going to have to, now we're talking about it. Now we can mull it over, but think about how many pages we could start with 2 front and back. It kind of, if you're, like I said, if you're in your mind's eye, what a newsletter looks like. We start with the 2 pages. We get some advertisers. Now we're up to 4 pages because we have things that are filling the space.
Mhm.
Like maybe we want to get Jessie Marie Villars involved, right? Like she does cannabis equity employment. Like, she might want to advertise. If the advertising is cheap enough, we're not looking for a tremendous amount of donations, right? We're just looking for a bunch of little donations that are going to add up to eventually where we can do something good with the money.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea too. And like what popped into my mind too is maybe Lefty, we can hit a dispensary up and just see, how, because I know not all dispensaries are really wheelchair accessible or disability accessible. Maybe we can, do a little thing where we go visit different dispensaries and, document how the experience was. How was it towards, the disabled community? Do they have,
Well, you could do a survey.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like a sativa cross survey. Right.
Yeah.
And then that can be that we can create content around that stuff as well too. I have all the equipment for it, the camera, the tripods, the mics. I have all that, to be able to make content too. So
And I'm not even disparaging it at all, but we got Michael Wheel or Weil, however say his name. He's the dispensary guy creating all that content, right? From nothing. From nothing but walking in dispensaries.
Yeah,
look at where he's going.
He's just documenting what it is,
Right.
I'm there every Wednesday. I love Mike.
So and look at how he has built that up. And you know what? It's not you and I as dispensary shoppers. That's not who watches this guy. The owners, the manufacturers, and the general managers. That's who his audience is. That's who it is.
Yep.
The regular shopper, the employees watch him, but it's not the consumer that's watching him at all.
It's the industry.
It's the industry. Correct.
As we watch him every Wednesday.
Also one to watch is Chris Wilson from the Frosted Nug. He does they podcast out of there, and he puts out a lot of great information as an owner, as somebody who's going through the trials and tribulations of getting doors open. And that's why.
Can you connect me with him?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
another one that really.
I've gone to every grand opening in South Jersey so that I can connect with owners and connect with general managers. As somebody that does community engagement, I want us all to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care. I just want us all to do well and, to support each other in this industry. And I don't think that it's going to work if we are at each other's throats or so competitive. Each one of us is trying to be your friendly neighborhood dispensary because that's how it's going to work. I will travel. Today, I put up in the group yesterday, where's them patches at? So I had 10 people answer me about where the patch is so I could go and look and make an educated consumer decision for myself on where to go get them.
Yeah,
And it worked great.
I'm going on a tour tomorrow of High Grass Farms.
Okay.
I actually have a buddy that I think he works for High Grass. And I
I
was just
am
about to bring him
very
up.
high grass.
I was about to say my buddy Usman, he he works for High Grass. He's also trying to open up a dispensary here in Rockaway. And he's great on content on his Instagram. If you guys follow him, Sugar Leaves, his
I think I
Instagram
do.
is crazy. He like kind of what you said, Wednesday. He makes content out of nothing. He'll step out of his car and his content, and it's something unique. We gotta use that the marketing around social media around it. Sometimes we
Well,
say, nobody wants to see my everyday life, but that's what
Yes.
people
yeah,
are
so if
into.
we're doing a digital newsletter, that can include links that will open up and take them someplace else, like for content. So
That's
keep
what
that in
people
mind.
want.
It's digital, right? It's a digital. It's a liquid form. So
Yeah, paper free.
They
yeah,
want
paper
raw.
free. We're paperless. Is right.
They want raw, yes, they just want to see exactly what you're doing. And it's much better content. You get a lot more viewers. This is what I've been paying attention to while I was in YouTube jail. I just got out of YouTube jail. But that, people are looking to connect, and being raw and not editing is now almost the way to go.
Yeah, because people don't like AI. They don't like it.
And they're very afraid of it. And they don't realize you can use it for good, not just evil. That's honestly how I made my logos, because I always said the advertising has nothing to do with seniors. So, show me an ad with 3 grandmas sitting around the table sharing a bong and an Entenmann's, and now you're talking to me.
What are we raffling off though, Marina?
What's that?
She said online raffle, sell them for $5 to $10, but I don't know what we'd be raffling off. Memberships, or I don't know.
Donation swag from some of these dispensaries or companies. How about that?
Well, we'll need many more volunteers. There's 38 there's 38 manufacturer growers, so
Yeah.
for somebody to be hitting them all, it's a job in itself, and we're all volunteers here. I have a full-time job, so
Right.
that's a good idea, Marina. I have a full-time job, so my time is limited, so I don't really have time to sit and make a lot of phone calls. But if you guys do, fabulous. I don't mind help compiling a list, of places or people to call. I can help with that.
Okay. I have to think about it now.
That's the problem with these meetings. We're smoking the whole time.
But it works for us. Again, outside of the box thinking.
Well, I did come up with that idea while I was here in the meeting, so it wasn't anything I can consider before.
But what can
But I
we
do love the idea of a digital newsletter, and it's advertising space that can be sold.
Yep, and it can be I think it can be incorporated with the list lights up. We can.
For a long time, I had a website called promote420.com. Now I had to let it go because it was starting to cost me a lot of money, and I'm unemployed. But that's what I wanted to do with that. I wanted to be like, the place where everybody, not weed maps, but like, so it would be regional. It would be like all the dispensaries that are here in, South Jersey region, and then Central Jersey region, and then North and the far North, or High Point, New Jersey region, or however it gets divided up. But I wanted to be that person and sell banner space going across the bottom, and you upload your, it's like budwatch.com, I think it was called.
But
You would upload your deals and everything so that there would be like a one-stop, because I know that I'm all day. If I'm looking for patches, and somebody's asked me about patches, now I'm searching 12 different dispensary menus. It's time consuming. I want to go one spot, and weed maps and Leafly are not set up that way. They're just not. You can put it in there, but it's not set up like that.
And they're also not up to date.
No, they're not up to date, and they're expensive, right? So I was really like, I'm a like a GoFundMe type person. I'll take $1,005,000 rather than $10 million or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's pennies or quarters, whatever. I'm still making that money.
No, absolutely.
And Sativa Cross might be able to do something like that. I mean, now that I am not doing that, like we set up their website so that the sponsors are the manufacturers and cultivators and the people in the industry. And then we'll put their ads up. Like that's another way to make money right there.
Yeah.
Well, this is most impressive to me.
Well, unfortunately, we are a nonprofit, but so's Goodwill, and that guy gets paid.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, really, out of all the things I can and can't do, this is somehow at the bottom of my list. The making phone calls, organizing, and and I can appreciate what I've just watched here, especially with you two. Like running the machine for
We're women.
and I understand all what you're saying. Once I saw myself go like that, something went over my head. I mean, like that everybody else would understand. But
I will work on like a mock-up of a 2-page newsletter.
Yeah,
and I'll present it at the next meeting, and you guys can tweak and make changes, whatever. It'll just say like sativacross.org at the top, and it'll say like, our mission statement and the date, and it'll look like a newspaper right at the first page. Now I'll throw some pictures in for position only and some articles in for position only. And then
I'll send you some. Yep.
That's fine. And then I'll put up an ad from Quality Cannabis because I can do that because that's the dispensary I work for. Right. I'll just produce a little something.
And I can advertise as well.
If you have a little business card size ad or something, like that's what it is. You sell in quarter page, half page, and 8 pages.
Full page.
How do I know this? I worked for a magazine for 5 years. So I'm actually pretty skilled at this work. I was an editor and graphic designer for a publication called Limousine Digest. It was like a niche publication for the limousine industry.
Somebody help me out and go back to content. Tell me I know what content is. I know what, I mean, I understand it in discussion.
Well, it would be pictures or reels or links to other things to look at. Like there'll be an ad, right? And it'll be like Quality Cannabis. If you click on that ad, it's going to take you to my website.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So that's how we advertise. That's how we get the dispensaries on board, is one click shopping from our website to their web, from our website to theirs.
What about the content creator that could create content just stepping out of his car? Give me an example of what that would be?
So he would be maybe smoking a joint.
Right. I mean, in front of the George Washington Bridge behind him.
But maybe all of his photos are the back of his head and just the joint. So it'd be like him and hey, can I get a gram? A gram, man. Amen. Can I get an amen? Can I get an a gram? And it's like me smoking in different spots.
Chris,
maybe that's it. Maybe that person just does that.
Honestly,
Chris is trying to say something. Chris, go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say, it's pretty much if he's gonna go visit a dispensary, he'll record himself stepping out of his car and then opening up the door and then giving a bud tender a fist bump, and that's all the content really. It is. Right. It's like promotional. at that point, you know.
And the
You
and
would
my
zoom in
product
on the
reviews.
sign, you know, and you would zoom in on that front door. You normally can't take photos or video once you're in the dispensary. You know, that's just like a general rule of thumb. Some people can, some people allow it, some people don't. Some people, like, I'll walk in and say, hey, do you mind if I take
Yeah.
some photos for content? They never do. I'm telling you right now, they never do, as long as you're not getting their customers in the content.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
And
that's where it's against the law.
you know, the videos I do are all product reviews. And you know, so that
And that would be
also
great
is
too.
content. That's you know, content.
So we would get a little picture of Liz like this every month, and then she would be like, you know, Liz's Corner, whatever, product review, whatever. Make up your name.
Right.
Liz Lights
Yeah.
Up, product review corner.
Yeah. You
But
know?
every month, Liz will produce that, and then that'll be, you know, filler. That's what we need, stuff to fill it. And
Yes.
because there will be content that's important, right? Like fundraiser stuff, there'll be front page, whatever. But oh, you guys, I'm so excited
I know, me too.
Well, I know,
because I think it is a way to make money. I do think that selling advertising space, especially for cheap. And as long as they provide a link, you know, like we can do cultivator highlight of the, listen, we have to move into the legal market. None of us started there. I sold weed out of my apartment for 30 years till I had kids. And then I had to move into the legal market because I wanted to be able to bring my job home instead of, you know, weed's personal. Everybody has a story. Maybe we'll share everybody's personal story with weed. When
And
did
that's
you
the
start
thing.
smoking? We'll do interviews with people. When did you start smoking? Like Mikey's interview.
The dispensaries, everybody I talk to has a story. And you know, when you're, you know, building a relationship with them and learning their story, and you see that's their passion. They're not business owners. These are just passionate people who have seen, who have experienced, who have felt the difference that cannabis makes.
We could ask Jay Lassiter. I know, you know, but maybe he'll do like, you know, we don't have that cannabis list come out anymore, right?
Yeah.
What cannabis list?
So Jay Lassiter, he's a writer. He used to do like the top 100 people to know in cannabis, like the movers and shakers or movers and smokers or whatever.
It's current. Yeah, they had a list about.
Yeah, but that wasn't Jay's list.
No, yeah, and Jay doesn't do it anymore. Right, that's out of his hands.
Right. But see how it got very corporate.
Yes, it did.
We want to highlight, but we want to highlight real industry people, owners, bud tenders, general managers. That's the heart and soul. The fucking people who own it and the people, the MSOs, we don't give a fuck about.
Oh God, yeah, I agree 100%.
We don't give a fuck about Zen Leaf and about, you know, all these. Beyond Hello just moved from, they just opened up their like 40th store nationwide in North Jersey. They're opening.
Like a grassroots list would be nice.
What?
A grassroots list?
Yeah. The mom and pop shops.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's work on it.
Honestly, those are the stores that I support and that I work with. And you know, I am you know, I've gotten now everything together, so now I am ready. I've rearranged my schedule. My work schedule has changed, so now I have specific times where I can actually go to these dispensaries, sit down and talk to them.
So Liz, I can do, we have business cards made up. I don't think we ever did get that project off the ground for printing, but if anybody here wants a business card that they can take or send the file to Staples and get them printed, I have the template for us all to have cards. I have all of our cards.
Oh,
with
wow.
our titles and all that. So instead of being like, again, not sending them out as like a sativa cross, but I'm going to print my own cards up because I feel it's important if I'm going to be doing like newsletter type stuff, to have that card to leave behind. I will send you the template, Liz. You can make me changes. And
Okay,
if anybody else wants cards to print, let me know.
I
Okay.
have card stock, business card stock. So
Okay, well, I'll set it up, and like I can do a PDF of 10 up if you want to print and cut your own.
oh, great!
I could do that. I mean, you know, they are better. They're only $20 at Staples or $23. So, you know, but I can send a single file up, and then you can send it back with what you want on it. Cross out my name, put your name, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Send me back the changes, and then I'll send you out a file for print. Because, like I said, my background is in print and design.
Mm-hmm. Mine is in marketing, nursing, and being a patient now. Honestly, that's almost like a full-time job. You know, because you don't realize until you become disabled how rough it is out there, and how you constantly have to think about it. Like I said, I'm going to High Grass Farms tomorrow. The first thing I asked John was, you know, are you handicap accessible?
So you're coming all the way to Buna tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not far. I'm about 40 minutes from Buna.
Okay.
I am going to I will be at 2 separate launches from you know, Belushi is coming.
Yeah,
So,
I picked the wrong week. Let me tell you, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I'm meeting Jim Belushi twice. I'm so excited.
I know that is. I'm pissed because, you know, I really, you know, I'm like, okay, let me do it this week, and then I was like, shit. And I didn't want to be that person that would be like, can I change it to, you know? So I'm gonna miss that train.
So I know I haven't been to a meeting in a while. I'm making up for it with all my ideas right now.
Yes, you are.
I love it.
And my volunteer food. Man, I shifted food for a week.
Really?
Yeah, Thanksgiving week. That's all I did was take food from one organization and move it to another one, make a meal for one organization and go serve it at another one. Like, because I'm unemployed. I mean, I am employed. I'm opening a dispensary. My fingerprint is Friday. So like that's payroll hasn't really started, but I have spent my time prior to opening the store cultivating relationships with community engagement projects and things of that nature. That's what I've been doing the last 4 months while getting ready to get open.
Well, you added to the Thanksgiving pop-up for having food ready to go to eat. In other words, you could take, whether it be big damn jar of peanut butter and jelly or any of the other stuff. Yeah, that was great. Which is you know, it's like you redirected that towards the pop-up, which it's all.
So, and what I did was like then I just formed relationships with the people for the Love of Pete's Pantry and for Unforgotten Haven and other charitable organizations in this area. So when I get working, I can come back. Like here I am from Quality Kind of Bliss, and they met me as just Wednesday. So I'm trying to break the stigma so that we can actually offer help and sponsor projects, and people will take our help. Because once they find out we're a dispensary, they're like, no thanks.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I did. I went and I met them, and I'm now at a point where I'm hugging them on site. Oh, so nice to see you, Gene. Now I'm going to throw my business card at them that says Quality Kind of Bliss and say, how can we help you in these projects? And now they're going to say, okay, she's cool. She's already been out here volunteering, cooking food, serving food, and all that. So yeah, of course, she's got her heart's in the right place. So that's what I've been doing the last 4 months.
And that's perfect. You're really putting yourself in a good position.
Yes, and because, you know, I knew I was coming onto this job as community engagement director. So I wanted to get ahead of it.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely are ahead of the curve.
Trying to set us up for success.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm working with the DAV we have a veterans organization
Uh-huh.
that I'm working with, and it's women. We're women-owned dispensary, and we're working with the DAV Women's Coalition. So
Oh,
a lot of the
really?
stuff that we're doing is like women-centric. We're going to have Women-Owned Wednesday, and it'll be all the women-owned products such as Wana, Veda Warrior, Miss Grass, the women-owned brands. We'll highlight those. And we have a
Justin,
basement, and they're going to fix the basement up for spa treatments.
wow. Did you see Marjorie's Just a Woman announcement
That she's going into Delaware?
that she's leaving the cannabis business?
Well, I can't say I didn't see that coming. They're not making much money, and they're doing all the work themselves, and
Right.
they've been exploited by, I would say, the bigger brands.
Yeah.
It was a great idea. They didn't give it enough time to get off
No.
the ground, and they ran out of money. I'm sure that's what happened.
Oh, yeah. But
So Marjorie is my neighbor. She lives in the next town over. Yeah.
She is the reason I'm here. Honestly, I went to her event on March 22nd. It was the first event I'd ever gone to. I didn't know what I was doing. At the time,
the house down the shore?
I'm sorry?
Was it at the house down the shore?
No, it was at a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
But after meeting her then, and like I knew exactly where, like by the time I left there, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I talked to women. It was my turning point. And then every time I saw her after that at an event, she'd grab my hand and take me over to someone, say, do you know this person? This person wants to meet you.
I'm heartbroken. I'm going to be reaching out to her immediately after this.
Oh yeah, I am totally heartbroken, and I put that in her, in the reply, because again, they're pioneers, but I get it. You got.
They didn't have enough time. They need, what? She needed a better investor. That's really what she needed, was somebody who believed in her and will put some money behind her, because that idea that she had with she didn't have the Mother's Day. She never got out for Mother's Day. Her product wasn't on the shelves. Valentine's Day, she's missing Valentine's Day again this year. She missed it last year. They needed a good 2-year market where people were trying that and loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a specialty product. It's a gift product. You're going to buy those rainbows for your rainbow friends. You're going to buy the pink ones for your mom and for your girlfriend. And yeah, I'm heartbroken.
I am too. And I just, I agree with you. They didn't give it enough time. And honestly, when I was at the Best in Grass awards,
it was starting to affect her mentally. I could tell that just being her friend. I could tell that was coming.
Okay, yeah. And when they didn't win and they just left, I knew something wasn't right. I knew.
Yeah, they needed that win. They needed that win so that the product would get on the shelves. And to give it to somebody like Miss Grass or, somebody else, that's bullshit, man. She deserved it. She brought that from concept to completion, that whole idea. Yeah, and she deserved it. That's bullshit. This industry, telling you, it's very exploitive industry. Very, very exploitive. Yeah. And I'm here to make a difference in that aspect of it.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. Well, I'm learning.
I have my own product, but I'm selling that shit out of my house as long as I can. As long as I can get the CBD to make it, I'm going to do it.
As you should.
I don't know what's going to happen with Dan Watkins when this, goes forth that you can't have CBD because he's a CBD grower. What happens to our good friend Dan and the 10 years that he's put into the heart and soul of a CBD farm in New Egypt? And now what? Now he has to fucking shut it down and feed horses. Travesty what's going on with hemp.
Well, you know, they
Because
have a
they
year
don't
to
want
figure
hemp.
it out.
They don't want hempcrete, and they don't want hemp
I agree.
material and like bedding, and they don't want hemp cotton. They don't want. There's two plants going to save the world. It's hemp and bamboo, and they're going
Oh
to
my God.
squash
Have
it.
I not said this in the
They're going
show
to
at
squash
least
it,
once or
squash it,
twice?
squash it. My mother's a master gardener. I have been raised as an environmentalist my whole life. Now she does fracking, and so now she's no longer the environmentalist. I am.
Yeah, but I've been saying the same thing all along, because Henry Ford used hemp-based products in
Right
his
there.
cars.
You got it right there.
World War II, the government used hemp products in the warships.
They had a video, Hemp for Victory, at
Yeah.
the beginning of World War II. The Department of Defense, I believe,
Yeah.
put it out.
And the thing is, that's the problem. You know, corporate America is very afraid of this product because, quite honestly, it is the universal plant. It goes, you know, from cotton sheets to hempcrete that will build a house, and it grows, it regenerates at a much quicker rate. What is it, like every 46 days or something? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know where that number came from, so don't trust me. But that's what I think. You know, it's corporate America that is very afraid of having their lives ruined, you know, and not being able to make the money they could make. And yep, I agree with you 100%. And I can't believe you said it, because you just made my day.
Well, you know, I was a graphic designer, and there's a ton of jobs that I would not go for because there was drug testing, and I just didn't want to be like humiliated or embarrassed, or like, oh, sorry, you pissed dirty, so we can't hire you. I just wasn't about humiliating myself.
Yeah.
So I'm not anywhere where I should be in that industry. So I did a pivot, like Chris said. You know, he's having to pivot over to something else. But yes, so I made my way in cannabis, and I wanted to be cannabis. Like, you know, my initial business cards was New Jersey Canna branding, because I wanted to get, you know, branding somebody like Full Tilt, or, you know, House, or, you know, Seed to Store, somebody, a mom and pop Seed to Store, because they can't afford an agency for that.
No,
But they could afford me. But they could afford me. But nobody, they all wanted to pay an agency instead. So here I am. This is what I'm doing now.
Well, that's when I started. You know, I wanted to start a marketing business, or actually, yeah, and do market. You know, I tried getting jobs, but you know, I'm 66. Yeah, stage 4 breast cancer survivor, broken back, the whole 9 yards. I'm not marketable. I worked in HR. I wouldn't hire me. And then I was like, you know what? I'm the fucking poster child for cannabis.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I started paying attention, and I'm like, you know, I don't understand this. You know, I just used to smoke pot. And now it's like all this shit, like in the past 2 years, has like been overwhelming, and you don't know where to
Well,
turn.
what do you mean, like new products and new methods of consumption?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
You know,
yeah. Well, that's new here, but it's
yeah,
not new to California or Colorado or Washington or Oregon.
it's new to seniors. It's new.
Right, exactly. So we definitely are going to be doing a lot of education at the dispensary I work at. And you know, maybe this isn't my last job in cannabis. If I can come up with some kind of education, you know, as an education consultant,
Yeah.
you know, and then I would go from dispensary to dispensary doing a staff training or whatever, because
Yeah.
I don't feel like, well, I don't know. I went into a dispensary down here 2 weeks ago, and they directed me right to the kiosk. And I was like, wait, I want to talk to a bud tender. And they're like, we don't do it like that. You got to go to the kiosk. I was like, well, I'm already in your door, and I know you have a product that I want on your menu. However, I probably won't come back to this store, because I like to talk to the bud tenders. I like to shoot the shit. I like to discuss
Mhm.
strains and terpenes and what are they smoking and upsell me something.
Right. Right.
Like
Right.
I'm there,
Exactly.
I want you
You
to
want
do
that
the
human
job.
interaction.
Yes, I want the human interaction. And
Mhm.
so, not all dispensaries are about that though. Some of them
No.
are, drive through only. Some of them are like, place the order at the kiosk and then keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you know Spencer.
Yes. He was
Um,
my first consultant at it was Compassionate Care Foundation at the time. But yes.
yeah, I met him very briefly at NECAN, and he said, he would love to, do, especially in Sunny Tien, having seniors come in and do some kind of education with them. So I have emailed him, but the one thing in this industry
Well,
is,
we would like that also, Liz.
oh, that'd be perfect then. Yeah,
Yeah.
because my
So
plan is I'd like to come down, because it's about 2 hours,
right. And hit them all in one day.
yeah, and come
So,
down once a
did you say
month.
you're going to High Grass tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to High Grass
So maybe
tomorrow.
on your way back, you stop in and see me on the Black Horse Pike. I'll send you the address.
Okay, that'd be great.
Since you're in the area and all,
Okay.
and it is back on your way north,
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
great.
yeah, you're closer probably to Bordentown uh
Then
than
Buna?
High Grass.
No, I'm closer to Buna than I am to Bordentown.
Oh, okay.
I am like 23 minutes from Buna. So,
Not bad.
Adam, before we go, do you have any report or anything you want to say?
hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Hey guys, no, sorry I was late.
We made it. That's all that's important.
That's
I
it.
made
Yeah,
it.
I'm here.
That's important.
We had a quorum.
Well, so we have at
Any
least
re-
a core.
yeah. Any
I do
reporting? Anything?
anticipate being able to attend this meeting on Tuesdays, even if I am at work, because that's kind of like my job. So I will be able to say, okay, I have a meeting. I'll be back in, so that's kind of job this one is. So I'm very excited about that.
That's great.
Yeah, they really seem to
Rob-
appreciate like what I bring to the table, all of it.
Nice.
Have you ever met Claudia Pope?
No.
So you write her name down and go to Most Consulting and Scarlet Express. And she's 70. Oh, I can't tell you how old she is. She's a senior and she is still moving and grooving and grinding in this industry.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's doing
Most
delivery in Atlantic City.
really?
Yes, and Most Consulting is a market. So Restore is her client. Indigo is her client.
Okay.
So she's got some pretty big name clients that they do the marketing and website design and all that.
Okay. So you said
I want
it's
to check her out.
most. You said it's most consulting, and what else?
Her name's Claudia Post.
Oh, okay, that was it.
So if you want to find her on LinkedIn or whatever, give her a follow. It's a very interesting lady. I think you would have a lot in common with her. You'd
Oh,
love to talk
sweet.
with her. Maybe the three of us can do lunch or something. She's a good friend of
Nice.
mine.
Awesome.
I feel this was a very productive meeting.
I second that. No, it was,
Hi.
I thought,
Podcast.
I've missed you guys. I'm so sorry I haven't been present. But I'm also single now, so I have a lot more time on my hands.
time. Well, yeah,
And a lot more weed.
we'll see if we can help bring a new direction for Sativa Cross for the new year.
Well,
Get off to a good start starting now, the last meeting of 2025.
I agree.
Set a
And
nice
like I said, I have a little more time now. So, and I can do more things that are important to me if you catch my drift.
Well, there's a lot of good
Hi guys.
stuff to look forward to in outreach ways and everything, and content creating, which I find really interesting. Except for I don't have.
Well, Jim, what you did on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, with taking the pictures, getting a little video, putting
That's
a little
content. Yeah,
context with your words behind it, that's content creation right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
Right.
you can get it smoothed out by studying how other content creators
Oh,
would have done the
yeah,
pictures of the tables. Like they would have
I
gotten lower and,
I watch
went
other.
slow. And so
I
there's just observation will get you far as far as
I
creating your own
all
content.
I have been observing for a long time. I know what content is. I wanted to hear, I mean, in other words, am I getting this right? But yeah, I do that a lot. And, basically I can go and seek out content that makes me feel good. Uh, at the end of the day,
Right.
which should be people's, uh, giving other people something they need at a time they need it, but it's in an interesting way. And I totally, I like field vision. I like cultivating my own field vision. And so I watch things through that lens. What I need is something more reliable than the phone that I have with the lack of memory storage to be able to do that, what you were saying, because I don't know. I've always thought I could create some content.
Well, you can.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
absolutely can.
the history as it becomes the future in that instant. Sometimes I just know, and I tend to look at things through that lens as well. I mean, I do it all the time. I do that all like I'm looking, make that little square in front of your face sign like you're looking through a third thing. And I see stuff, and often enough I say it like, I don't say that would have been some great content, but it'd be something goes on in the podcast, even, with a guest or whatever, and think that's like great content. To which, by the way, the Sativa Cross Thursday guest list has created some content to be, it's a time thing, and Lefty, and I always feel guilty if I think of something you might be able to do because of your time constraints, but that happens a lot. There's stuff. If I could storyboard content, if it was just like, here's a list of all those really good Thursdays where Sue had a great guest on and it went well, and it's somebody that's known nationally and worth other people's, and to just take something together, it's you've had some really, really good guests, and then of course he aptly balanced it out on Tuesday with, the Tuesday podcast free for all, which is fun. I like it. It's like sitting around with friends. You just can't smell what they're smoking, but you're smoking with them and hanging out. I like that too.
Yeah.
But the Thursday one in the past, I mean, I got to start accessing that. And I know it's probably easy to do. It always starts with the word just, and then go somewhere. But it's not like just go to the list of podcasts that go by date, and the little title, so who was on it. It's not that. I always give up when I can't find it for like 3 or 4 minutes. That's one thing I get from the much younger generations. I want it now. What? I got to do this first? No, I'm not going to do that. I want the instant gratification. No more end game. Just fun. Oh, anyway.
Well, thank you, Mad Hatter. Thank you, CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org. And this is our list that we always do.
Always.
And our list begins with Cheryl Miller, Sabina Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, LaWanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, Wayne, Waxy, Joe Marie, and Jeff.
This concludes our podcast.
Thanks, everybody. Great board meeting. Motion to close the meeting.
Aye.
Seconded by
So,
Chris, and thank you, everybody. We'll see you all
Thank you.
Thursday. Thank you.
Yes. This was so much fun.
This was. Good night, everybody.
Have
Good
a
night.
good one. Take care.
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not
Shall
weary
not weary
them, nor the years
years
condemn.
condemned.
The going down of the sun, and in the morning,
we will remember them.
thank you.